Welcome to our video on navigating accommodations for school. As a parent or guardian, it's essential to understand the resources available to support your child's educational journey. In this video, we'll explore the world of Individualized Education Programs, IEPs, and 504 plans, and provide you with the tools and confidence to advocate for your child's needs. First, let me provide the differences between an IEP and a 504 plan and give you some examples. An IEP is a customized plan designed for students with disabilities that affect their academic performance. Eligibility for an IEP is based on the presence of one or more of the 13 disability categories which are listed in the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, and I will mention those a little further along in the video. IEPs focus on providing specialized instruction and related services to support the student's educational needs. Examples of IEP accommodations include modified assignments. A student with a learning disability may receive modified assignments that reduce the reading level or complexity of the work. Speech therapy. A student with a speech impairment may receive speech therapy sessions to improve communication skills. Adaptive physical education. A student with a physical disability may participate in adaptive physical education classes that accommodate their physical needs. A 504 plan is a plan which is developed for students with disabilities that affect their ability to participate in school activities. Eligibility is based on the presence of a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activities. 504 plans focus on providing accommodations and modifications to ensure equal access to education. Examples of 504 accommodations include wheelchair accessibility. A student with a physical disability may require wheelchair accessibility in the classroom or school building. Extended time on tests. A student with a disability that affects processing speed may receive extended time on tests to complete the work. Preferential seating. A student with a disability that affects attention or focus may receive preferential seating in the classroom, such as sitting near the teacher or away from distractions. The key differences: IEPs focus on providing specialized instruction and related services, while 504 plans focus on providing accommodations and modifications to ensure equal access. Eligibility. IEPs require the presence of one or more of the 13 disability categories, while 504 plans require the presence of a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life categories. The categories or the disabilities that are listed include autism spectrum disorder, a combination of visual and hearing impairments that affects communication, mobility, and daily living skills, deafness, emotional disturbance, a condition that affects a child's emotional well-being, behavior, and their ability to learn. Hearing impairment, so a hearing loss that affects communication and language development. Intellectual disability, so significant cognitive and adaptive difficulties that affect academic and daily living skills. Also, multiple disabilities, a combination of two or more disabilities that affect a child's ability to learn and participate in school activities. Orthopedic impairment, a physical disability that affects mobility, coordination, and daily living skills. Other health impairments include a medical condition that affects a child's strength, vitality, or alertness, such as ADHD, epilepsy, or diabetes. Specific learning disability, a disorder that affects a child's ability to learn and process information, such as dyslexia, dyscalculia, or dysgraphia. Speech or language impairment, a communication disorder that affects speech or language development. A traumatic brain injury, a head injury that affects cognitive, emotional, or behavioral functioning. Visual impairment, including blindness, so a visual impairment that affects sight and daily living skills. These categories serve as a starting point for determining eligibility for special education services under the Individuals with Disabilities Act. IEPs typically provide more comprehensive support, including related services like speech therapy or occupational therapy, while 504 plans tend to focus on the accommodations and modifications within the general education setting. So how do you determine if your child is eligible for an IEP or 504 plan? Well, first, an evaluation. The school will conduct an evaluation to assess your child's strengths, weaknesses, and educational needs. This may include assessments, observations, and input from teachers and parents. If the evaluation indicates that your child has a disability that affects their academic performance or ability to participate in school activities, they may be eligible for an IEP or 504 plan. What happens after your child is found eligible? The IEP team, including parents, teachers, and administrators, will meet to develop the IEP. This plan will outline specific goals, accommodations, and services. For a 504, the 504 team will meet to develop the 504 plan, which will outline the accommodation and modifications to ensure equal access to education. What types of accommodations and modifications can be included in an IEP or 504 plan? Well, some of them include academic accommodations, such as extra time to complete assignments, the use of a calculator, or the provision of a note taker. There can be environmental modifications, such as moving the student's desk to a quieter area, providing a quiet space for testing, or adjusting the lighting. Assistive technology, the use of text-to-speech software, a speech-generating device, or a wheelchair-accessible computer station. Here are some additional facts about IEPs and 504 plans that parents may not know about. IEPs are legally binding documents. Schools must provide the services and accommodations outlined in the IEP. Parents are equal members of the IEP team. Parents have the right to participate in IEP meetings, provide input, and disagree with the IEP if necessary. IEPs must also be reviewed annually. The IEP team must meet at least once a year to review the student's progress and make any necessary changes to the IEP. Students with IEPs are entitled to extended school year services. Extended school year services are provided during school breaks to prevent regression and maintain skills. IEPs can include accommodations for standardized tests. Students with IEPs may be eligible for accommodations on standardized tests, such as extended time or a separate testing location. Now here's some 504 plan facts. 504 plans are not just for academic accommodations. 504 plans can also provide accommodations for extracurricular activities, sports, or other school-sponsored events. 504 plans can be implemented at any time. Unlike IEPs, which require a formal evaluation process, 504 plans can be implemented at any time during the school year. Parents do not have the same level of participation in 504 plan meetings. While parents are encouraged to participate in the 504 plan meetings, they do not have the same level of participation as they do in IEP meetings. 504 plans must be reviewed periodically to ensure that the accommodations are still necessary and effective. Students with 504 plans are not automatically eligible for accommodations on standardized tests. Unlike students with IEPs, students with 504 plans must request accommodations separately for standardized tests. And here are some other facts. Both IEPs and 504 plans can provide accommodations for mental health needs. Students with mental health needs such as anxiety or depression may be eligible for accommodations under either an IEP or 504 plan. Parents have the right to dispute the IEP or 504 plan decisions. If parents disagree with the IEP or 504 plan, they have the right to file a complaint with the school district or state education agencies. IEPs and 504 plans are also confidential. Schools must maintain the confidentiality of IEPs and 504 plans and only share information with authorized personnel. By understanding these additional facts, parents can better navigate the IEP and 504 plan process and ensure that their child receives the support to succeed in school. Now, as a parent or guardian, it's essential for you to advocate for your child's needs. Here are some tips that I encourage. Stay organized. Keep a record of your child's progress, including report cards, test scores, and communication with teachers. Communicate effectively. Develop a positive relationship with your child's teachers and administrators. Communicate your child's needs and concerns clearly and respectfully. Know your rights. Familiarize yourself with the laws and regulations governing special education, including getting familiar with the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, and Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. Navigating accommodations for school can seem overwhelming, but with the right support, knowledge, you can ensure that your child receives the education they deserve. Remember to stay organized, communicate effectively, and know your rights. By advocating for your child, you can help them thrive in school and beyond. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out. Don't forget to check out the resources listed in the description of this video for more information on IEPs, 504 plans, and special education.